Wow, that took so long. Literally, just like a whole 0.5 seconds I spent clicking the cancel button and then the play button again on my recorder. It was insane. Also, look at my beautiful paintings. Look at all of them. I set them up here specially for you. I organized them so my best ones were over here and my least good ones were all over there. You know, because I respect you guys, and I want your eyes to face the glorious beautifulness that is the dragon and the trees and this tree and those birds and yeah, okay, whatever. I'm wasting time. We're reading My Father is a Dark Lord by Temptresslove. This is chapter 5, and yeah, let's just get right into it. It begins, like all things, when Harry decides to do something utterly ridiculous. Okay. Harry says unsurely, willing his tongue to move, as they did when he was older. Lucius! He looks worriedly at his guardians, but Lucius and Bellatrix were clapping their hands and nodding their heads exaggeratedly. Yes, don't be shy, you're saying it very well. Now, say Antibella, Bellatrix says excitedly. Annibella! Bellatrix squeals. What's going on? A wild dark lord appears, his thick, low voice making everyone jump in surprise and fear. Bellatrix and Lucius struggle to stand up quickly to greet their lord. My lord, they both say. We were just checking on our ward. Our ward? The Dark Lord asks, raising an eyebrow up in the air. Lucius swallows thickly, not quite sure what Voldemort wanted from him now. Tom looks at him coldly. I mean your ward, my lord. Though the man barely even looked at the child and never bought him things, Lucius and Bella had already bought Harry so many toys he couldn't count them. Still, the man doesn't respond. We're teaching him our names, and Bellatrix says excitedly. Oh? The man asks. Go on, Harry-Wary, don't be shy. Show our lord how smart you are. Harry looks at Tom determinedly, not letting himself be intimidated by how the man was looking at him. He scrunches his forehead and clenches his fist in concentration. Uncle Lucius. Lucius claps proudly. Seeing this as encouragement, he goes on. Annibella. Except there's no L's. Annibella. Bellatrix squeals again and turns to Voldemort while wiggling her eyebrows. See? She tells the man. Didn't I tell you he was a smart little thing? We'll see. And he turns to Harry, an unbelievably bright smile on his face. What do you call me, child? Harry frowns. He thinks hard, but not that hard, because he was Harry Potter, and he had always been cheeky. He blames it on his Leo zodiac sign. Dada Woyamot. Oh, it's brilliant. Lucius gasps in horror. Bellatrix doesn't dare move, shaking her head warningly at Harry. But, Dada Woyamot, he says again, sure of himself this time, looking at the Dark Lord innocently as he could. Then he smiles and giggles, clumsily making his way to the Dark Lord, extending his small arms toward him. Dada Woyamot! What's he doing now? The Dark Lord asks. Well, he wants you to carry him, my lord. Interesting, is all the Dark Lord says, before he grabs Harry by the backs of his clothes and lifts him up. What the most evil creature in the history of the future of the wizarding world was right. Harry was hanging by his clothes, face down. His clothes were suffocating him, and they weren't strong enough to support his weight. He was going to fall. He wanted to cry. His eyes were tearing up, and he couldn't breathe. My lord! Bellatrix... Wow, that was bad! My lord! Bellatrix says in a panic. My lord, Harry can't breathe! And then Lord Voldemort, the bastard, lets him go. Just lets him go. Just like that. Lucius and Bella take action to catch him, but Harry was so mad that his magic cushioned him before he reached the floor. I apologize, the man says suddenly, before Harry could give him a piece of his mind, otherwise known as throwing a tantrum, crouching on the ground so he could be the same level as Harry. I don't have much experience. His eyes were so... It was no wonder why Lucius and Bellatrix did all he asked. He smiles at Harry, and Harry swears he can see a halo around his head. Can I try again? Harry runs to Lucius and Bella before he could catch him. I feel like maybe, just just maybe, that Voldemort might have done it on purpose for calling him Dada. I feel like that is a possibility. Here we go. That's very delicious. You should get ring pops. It's not sponsored. I don't have any viewers, but ring pops are epic. Never in Harry's life... Oh, this is chapter 6, by the way. Never in Harry's life did he think there would ever be a day where he would call Lord Voldemort Daddy. But, well, here he was, calling Lord Voldemort exactly that, Daddy. Well, at least he tried to. He couldn't ever really say the word right. It always just came out as Dada. It was all part of the Save the Wizarding world with the Little I Can Do plan, and Harry had to admit it did kind of, okay, maybe just a little, work. Because, for one, Daddy still patted Harry on the head every once in a while, but after learning how to carry a baby properly, he carried Harry at least once a week. And that was obviously more than when he didn't carry Harry at all. So if Harry was computing it right, Harry was already one step closer to saving the Wizarding world. You're welcome, everyone! Harry rests his little head on the crook of the Dark Lord's neck, savoring the time he had building stronger ties with the man who he will one day hopefully convince to baptize as a Christian. It was one of Harry's possible solutions to the dilemma of how to reform the Dark Lord. Maybe Jesus was the answer. My lord, Bellatrix suddenly speaks. Aren't you tired of carrying the little Harrykins? He's as light as a feather, the Dark Lord intones as they walked into what looked like a cave. No, wait, Harry looked again. It was a cave. Ooh, the first a forest and now a cave? They really weren't kidding when they said they were taking him on a field trip. My lord, Bellatrix tries again, let me carry him for a while so you can focus on searching. At this point, they were just passing him around like a basketball. Dada, Harry calls. Yes, darling. The man smiles down at him. You know, Harry could never really understand why such an evil being could have the smoothest voice in the whole motherfucking universe. Harry certainly heard rumors that Tom could talk to snakes, but Harry always took that rumor literally. Maybe what it really was a metaphor for him being a smooth talker. Oh, here comes Tom Riddle, the snake talker. It was so unfair. Of course he'd get to do evil things and get away with it. He was so good-looking, so tall, and his voice. Oof. Even Harry was considering to join the Dark Death Eaters now. No lies. Harry, stay with Dada on you, please. He begs, blinking his eyes innocently at the Dark Lord. Harry, Lucius says from the side, be reasonable. You can't stay with our lord. He has something important to do. Aren't I your favorite uncle? He asked smugly. He was right. Harry couldn't certainly win the Dark Lord by annoying him. If Harry didn't play his card right, maybe his adorableness would lose its appeal, and the Dark Lord would turn away from him. He didn't want that. He had a society to save. So for now, he will wait patiently and win his uncle and his aunt in the meantime. Favorite Uncle Lucius, Harry repeats, stretching his arms to Uncle Lucius. Before Lucius can grab Harry, the Dark Lord moves him out of Lucius's touch. No, the Dark Lord says simply, and no one tried again. Who knew that Harry's daddy... Who knew that Harry's daddy kink would come in handy once he was sent back into time as a baby into the Dark Lord's evil lair? No one. That's who. Harry happily sits on the Dark Lord surprisingly, but Harry should have known all along. Toned arms, wondering if the Dark Lord did Muggle exercise for his body to be so muscular underneath his robes. And then there's a Lenny phase. I can't make a Lenny phase. I have no skills in controlling the muscles. But being a baby really wore Harry out quickly. He wasn't even doing anything, just pointing at random things and saying, "Look, Dada, rock!" And he wasn't also allowed to walk by himself yet. He was already so sleepy. His eyes kept on opening and closing by themselves. Lucius starts talking. He sounded excited, and Harry really wanted to know what was going on. But, is that what we're looking for, my lord? Yes, the Dark Lord whispers, a pleased tone in his voice. Harry vaguely sees something silver, but that was impossible. Silver? In a cave? Yeah, right. And before Harry knew it, he was sound asleep in Lord Voldemort's arm. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that was chapter 5 and 6, I think? Yeah, 5 and 6. It's been like 9 minutes. I can start the next video. I will see you guys in like a millisecond. Goodbye.